Well, hey guys, Jeff here, Project Next. Thanks so much for tuning in and welcome back to the channel. And guys, if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping in and checking us out. Real quick note about what the channel's all about. We are about knocking out a project one at a time. It's kind of an endless list, that honeydew list that never goes away. But, I was just thinking the other day, in today's world, it is getting harder and harder to find contractors, and I'm not trying to badmouth them, they're just slam busy. You can't find contractors to come and do the small jobs, and so we need to learn as homeowners to be more self-reliant and do these projects ourselves. And so that's what Project Next is all about. I work here at what we call the homestead, and then I have 3 kids that live nearby, and I'm always going over and helping them with projects they work on. So guys, please consider hitting that subscribe, like and share with your friends. Don't forget to grab the notifier as well. I usually try to do about 2 videos a week. I hope to do more, but right now work schedule, I'm lucky to get 2 out. But anyway, that's about what I'm averaging. So again, guys, welcome, and let me jump into what today's video is going to be about. If you've seen any of my videos in the past, one very recent one was about bridge repair, and one of the things I've been working on is fixing some settling problems with my rails on my bridge. And one of the things that I've been wanting to get back to doing, but the weather has just not cooperated, was to get some staining done. Just want to freshen it up and put some more sealer on it. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna head out to the bridge. I got my products ready. I'll go over all that with you here shortly, what I'm going to be using. So you know me, guys, let's get busy. So guys, I'm out here at the bridge, and this is the rail system that I was telling you about. Now, in the past video, we had issues to where this had settled and was leaning, and also had incurred some damage. So we did all the repairs. We've got all of this set back in place. And one of the things I want to do is I kind of want to freshen up the stain. Now, the product that I've used in the past, well, I use all the time. I use it on my house, and I used it on my fireplace mantle and out here on my bridge rails. It's a product from Sherwin-Williams, and I want to do a big shout out to all the guys at Sherwin-Williams, especially a huge thanks to Jason, who helps me. They have such a wealth of knowledge that they share, and I'm not an expert at painting, and they tell me how to do things step by step, and boy, everything they've shared with me has just been right on the money. Man, these guys, and I'm not trying to sound like a big sales pitch, but they've just been so great. Even when I was building my pool house and putting all my colors together, they helped me with blending all that to get grays and browns and tans to go together and find a way to make that work, and they did. I was tickled to death. So anyway, big huge shout out, thanks guys. So one of the products that I've used is it's called Woodscapes, and you can get this in a transparent or semi-transparent or a full coverage. And what I'm going to be working with today, this is just a clear that they use for the transparencies, or semi-transparent. And what they do is they normally tint this. Now I have a gallon of this that I did the original staining with. This is a semi-transparent. It's called Charwood. And if I need to, this is faded some, and if I need to, I can go put some more stain that has the color in it. But what I'm hoping, and we're going to do a little experiment here to start with, is I'm hoping when I put the clear protectant on here, I'm hoping it's going to darken it up a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with this is just clear, just for protectant only. I'm going to try putting some of this down. If it darkens it up, we're great. I'm going to keep going. If it does not, I'm going to go grab the gallon that I have. That's the semi-transparent. It has the tinning in it, and we'll put a little bit more color on this before we seal it. So guys, be sure to stay to the end of this video, and I got a tech tip I'll share with you about the differences between stain and paint. Check it out at the end. So after getting a little ways down the board, even though it was darkening it up some, it really wasn't enough. So I did go back to the house, and I grabbed the wood stains that has, and you can see the difference. You can see how it's tinted, and it has that charwood finish to it. And if you look real close, you can see this is an area, and I've gotten to here so far, and you can see how much that's darkening it up. It's not a lot, but it's bringing more color into the wood. So I'm going to go ahead and knock this down, and let me give you a quick pass. This is what it obviously looks for now. And this side actually maybe doesn't need quite as much, but I'll still put some color on it. And then when we get everything finished, I'll do another round and we'll show you the before and the afters. So let's get busy. All right, I got one side done and I think it turned out great. Again, I added just a little bit of that tint, that semi-transparent, that added just a little bit of color, and I think that really looks good. You can see we've got a lot, this, especially on the tops, you can see where the sun is just baking on the color. So one thing I wanted to show you, and of course this is stain, it's not paint, and I know I wish I had, I don't know what happened to my good brush for staining, so I'm just doing it with a trim brush. It's just taking longer. But anyway, I just wanted to show you, obviously the top of this is really what takes the abuse for the sun. And so, and by the way, this is Rough Cut Pine. There is a place that's not far from here that just does all rough cut lumber, and I love this stuff. You can see all of the saw blade marks. It's a real cool rustic look. I love working with this stuff. There's challenges to it because every board's not exactly the same size, but if you take your time and work with it, you can really do some cool stuff, and I love the way my rails turned out. But anyway, getting back to the staining, again, this is the rough cut, and it can it's really taking a beating on the top. And so one of the things I'm doing is I'm really loading my brush up, and I am just saturating the top of this, you know. And I mean, you can see, and I'm not leaving a thick coat on it. I'm just putting a lot of material on it, a lot of stain, and I'm working it into all the cracks. And what I want to do is put as much protective as I can, especially on the tops, so we don't get into wood rot and all of that. And besides, it looks nice. But you can see, if you look here, let me just do a little bit more. And so if you look from here where I've not done over to here, you know, it really makes a big difference. So I just, you know, you put down your rags, you throw in a lot of stain, and you can be, as long as you put your drop cloths down, you can afford to be kind of sloppy with this, and you're just slapping it and just throwing it on. It's almost like spooning it on. And so anyway, as long as you just don't leave it sitting on top, you have to just work and brush it in, and I think that works great. Again, I'm trying to get as much protective on top as I can, because this is what takes the abuse from all the weather, and especially all of the sun. And boy, we have had a very tough summer so far. Just lots and lots of days up with it right at 100 degrees, and with heat indexes up into the 105s. And so obviously this is taking the brunt of all of that. So anyway, I will continue on and just working this stuff in. Again, just a little a note. Again, you don't have to be a painter. You don't have to be, you know, real neat. You know, just put your old raggedy clothes on that you don't mind getting a little stain on. And I've been lucky so far, and I know I'm jinxing myself now. But you just put your throw rags down, and you can just slap some stain. And it's not that big of a thing. You don't have to worry about being that neat, especially when you're dealing with this rough cut stuff. You just want to cover up what you don't want to accidentally get stain on. So I've got my drop cloths down, and dude, I can flat tell you, I am dropping some drips here and there, but all in all, I think it's turning out cool. Well, man, that wasn't too bad. It's kind of semi-cloudy, so I wasn't out in the direct sun, so it's not too hot today. Didn't take that long. I wish I'd had a bigger brush, obviously, but it still didn't take that long with what I had to work with. So I will swing the camera around and show you guys. Again, it darkened it up a little bit. I'll try here to dub in a little before just to remind you guys what it looked like when we started. And you can see it darkened it up and it evened it up. And I think it turned out really nice. And over here is the same way. This one's still drying, so you still see some splotchiness. Where you see the glossy or looks like it's wet, that is definitely still wet stain. But you know, it dries out nice and flat. And so again, we put a lot up on top for extra protection, and so I'm very pleased with the way it turned out. Now the next thing I'll do is I'll come in here. I've been working on cleaning up my creek banks, and we still got mowing and weed eating to do, obviously, up through here. But the goal is to get all of this cleaned up, and then this fall we're going to get all of the trees re-landscaped and mulched. And then I will come in here and clean all of this out and freshen up all the mulch again and make this really pretty. So real pleased with the way it's turning out. And again, just maintenance, fixing repairs, and a little bit of facelift with the staining. So I also wanted to share with you something I learned, and this is the tech tip I told you I was going to throw in at the end of the video. I was asking the guys at Sherwin-Williams, and I did not realize this until they told me. One of the differences between paint and stain is stain will not peel. So especially if you've got any kind of a rough surface, it will not peel. Paint will peel over time. Stain will fade, it'll get splotchy looking, but it will not peel. So when you are planning on doing different projects, keep that in mind on what type of product you want to use. Like if you're doing a utility building that usually has that rough finish, do you want to paint it and take a chance on it flaking off and peeling, or will you want to stain it and it will just kind of fade in time, but it will not peel? Anyway, I thought that was really cool. I did not realize that stain did not peel. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that tech tip. So guys, I want to finish it up for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate so much you guys watching and following along with the channel. I hope you find this stuff beneficial. And remember, here at Project Next, there's always one more. And man, do my kids have the projects lining up for me. So it is definitely the motto for this thing is there's always one more, and there absolutely is. So guys, thanks again. Take care. You guys have a safe week coming up, and you take care. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.